We're in the middle of a science fiction and fantasy television boom, with mind-blowing new shows joining classics and gaining new fans thanks to streaming platforms. Because of the addictive nature of sci-fi shows, you'll find yourself wanting more and more once you've finished one. To satisfy everyone's interests, Netflix has created a vast collection of original sci-fi shows, and imaginative acquired blockbusters from other sources. So here are some of the best sci-fi series you can watch on Netflix. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we'll go through 10 of the best sci-fi series on Netflix that you can watch in 2022. But before we begin, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss out when we make a new upload. Alright, let's jump right in. Number 10. Another Life. A strange object from space appears in Earth's orbit and plants a stalk-like object into the ground in the not-too-distant future. Humans try to figure out what it is, why it was placed there, and what happened next, but it takes too long to crack the code. So they send a team into space to study more. Another Life is a fairly average sci-fi show, and we're surprised it was extended for a second season. Katie Sackhoff stars as Nico, leading an ensemble cast including Selma Blair. Sackhoff herself appears to bounce around like a pinball between brilliant and terrible sci-fi such as The Mandalorian and Battlestar Galactica, and then there was Riddick, followed by this show. However, some people, mostly young children, enjoy it, and if you've seen all the other sci-fi on Netflix, it won't hurt to give it a shot. Number 9. Maniac. A clinical drug experiment occurs in an odd alternate reality in which its participants can swallow a series of alphabetical tablets to resolve their past traumas. That was supposed to happen for the characters in this Netflix original, but that's how it played out when the AI controlling the experiment began to malfunction. At its foundation, the series is about the difficulties of living with mental illness, but it's also a very creative science fiction dreamscape adventure from the minds of true detectives Cary Joji Fukunaga and The Leftovers' Patrick Somerville. Also, what sci-fi series have you seen with a lemur subplot, Justin Theroux as an overwhelming scientist, and fantastic 80s video game aesthetics? Probably not many until you've watched Maniac. Hands down, this one is the most entertaining out of all. Number 8. Dark. Dark, as the name says, is one of Netflix's darkest sci-fi web series, and it'll leave you stunned and shocked. It's a story you might not understand at first, but connecting every piece from the past will get you back in the zone later in the series. It's a family narrative set in a German town with mind-bending supernatural twists and plots, in which the disappearance of two young children portrays lives and exposes the relationships of four families. The strange events have turned the village upside down, and the remaining characters are looking for their loved ones. This captivating series from the streaming site is quite the mindbender, and it's definitely worth the watch. It fell into marketing that labeled it as the German Stranger Things because of the presence of missing people and the fact that it's set in the 1980s. But that cheap comparison undersells its authenticity as a genuinely watchable series. Number 7. Away. Even if it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to shoot off into space, being so far away from loved ones is inevitably isolating. That's the basis for Netflix's Away, a series inspired by an Esquire article, but following a global crew of astronauts on the first ever human voyage to Mars, led by Hilary Swank's character, who leaves her family in an emergency. It's not the type of sci-fi series to watch if you're searching for an inventive, futuristic epic, but it also doesn't claim to be something it's not. Set in a very near future where this form of space travel appears to be possible. This optimism, combined with the show's sincere representation of what life aboard a starship is like, makes it one of the most compelling modern outer space dramas. Number 6. Dark Matter. In the farthest reaches of space, the 6-person crew of a derelict spaceship awakens from stasis. They don't know who they are or how they got on board because their memories have been erased. The only hint to their identities is a cargo bay full of weapons and a destination, a remote mining colony on the verge of becoming a war zone. They must make a life or death decision without knowing which side they're on. Interesting storyline, right? But sadly, this show is yet another example of studio blunders, as it was cancelled while it was still in its prime. The action scenes were enthralling and entertaining to watch, but at the heart of the show was the relationship that slowly developed between the characters as they all found themselves in the same situation and were forced to work together. Number 5. The Silent Sea. Space explorers attempt to collect samples from an abandoned research facility full of classified secrets during a risky 24-hour mission on the moon. Korean television is undeniably popular in the West. This is an 8-episode series based on Choi Hang Short Young's film. The Sea of Tranquility, which he wrote and directed. Unfortunately, this doesn't have the same production budget as, say, For All Mankind, and the cross-lunar landscape hike in the first episode was hampered by the lack of more expensive practical effects, but that doesn't mean this show isn't captivating. Unfortunately, what begins as a few teeny-tiny, nitpicky faults gradually expands to include more than a fair share of cliches, which is a shame because they overshadow the creative, well-thought-out ideas that came through early on. Number 4. Love, Death, and Robots. A collection of short stories ranging from 8 to 18 minutes, each in a different style of animation, with the occasional live-action scene thrown in the mix. They frequently include technology and robots in the plot, and are set in a dystopian future. This is the best original series Netflix has produced since Lost in Space. Each story is unique, and while some follow a familiar theme or feature ideas that have been seen before, each one has a unique twist. Some episodes are quite dark and disturbing, while others are dark but hilarious, but they are all creative, well written, and beautifully created. The first season has 18 episodes, while the second only has 8, and there are many subtle tributes to well-known sci-fi franchises such as The Terminator and Aliens. Love, Death, and Robots is a complex collection of some of the most thrilling and innovative storytelling out there. Number 3. Black Mirror. Each episode of this addictive series pushes a current techno-social phenomenon to its logical conclusion, ranging from hashtags to 5-star ratings, and asks whether human nature can coexist with it. Over the last 10 years, technology has revolutionized practically every element of our life before we had time to question it. In every home, on every desk, in every hand, a monitor, a smartphone, or a black mirror of our 21st century exists. Each season has only a few episodes, but among them are some truly inspired moments of genius from the show's creator, Charlie Brooker. Part satire, part prophecy, the series paints an appropriately bleak picture of the future, one that will undoubtedly leave you concerned about the next generation and perhaps even motivate you to take action. Overall, these episodes are all about how modern technology, including the internet, is bringing humanity down the road to hell. Number 2. Lost in Space. Like every other series in this list, Lost in Space also has an exciting storyline. The human race has been forced to arrange an evacuation from Earth, and a massive spacecraft made up of smaller ships designed to act as landing craft that can accommodate one family has been built. On their way to Alpha Centauri, the Robinsons' landing craft crash lands on an uncharted planet, and they must battle strange indigenous creatures, alien robots, and potentially lethal flora and fauna to survive. The first season is slightly better than the second, but the entire series is worth binge watching. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll be on the edge of your seat as you watch John Robinson, his wife, Maureen, their children, and Major Don West battle the natural elements of an alien world. Number 1. Altered Carbon. Altered Carbon, adapted from Richard K. Morgan's 2002 novel of the same name, is glitzy and at times a dizzying fall into sci-fi decadence. The plot revolves around a 22nd century mercenary recruited to investigate the murder of a powerful aristocrat and the ensuing power struggle. The problem is that in this version of the future, the wealthy cannot truly die. Rather, their consciousnesses are uploaded to the cloud and downloaded into new bodies. In a world without death, the ensuing action features jaw-dropping visuals on par with Blade Runner and thought-provoking intrigue on par with HBO's Westworld. Although it takes a few episodes for Altered Carbon's complicated story to take off, and the second season slips a little, it's an ambitious trip that is well worth sticking around for. So with that, we've come to the end of the video. I hope you guys found it helpful. Did we miss any interesting Netflix sci-fi series? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, bye! We would highly appreciate your valuable views in the comment sections, so don't forget to notify us. Also, before we conclude, how about we tell you some amazing subscription options? It's the time when you drop a like on this one and subscribe to the channel to get daily updates. Wait, we just made your life a little easier. Now you can become a supporter, a member, or an exclusive member. If you become a supporter for $2.99, your comments will be a priority. All members will get early access to videos and exclusive videos, comments will be answered with priority, and shoutouts on videos, and that's only for $9.99. And lastly, you can become an exclusive member, which means a direct social media contact and every other benefit that a supporter and a member will get for only $24.99. So, what are you waiting for? Make sure to grab this opportunity. Thank you for watching us.